Hello and welcome. My name is Magnus Oraka, and this is Wotorwotor TV. You know, Nigeria will never cease to amaze me. You know, I've never believed that with the depth of hardship that this evil government has landed Nigerian, that there will be a unanimous understanding for Tinubu to be voted out in government come 2027. Unfortunately, Tinubu has weaponized a lot of things, and it has somehow created a very. Let me just list a few things that I feel is the reason why we should vote Tinubu out. Number one is that this government has created a general apathy in the citizens of Nigeria. People don't even get belief say anything they work again. Nigerians have believed that the whole system is destroyed. The judiciary, the National Assembly, the Akpabio, where they stand on a useless mandate, where go collapse. Everything, the police, the army, nothing is working again. So Nigerians are not that they don't want Nigeria to work, but they just believe that there's no system left standing that can fix this country again. Therefore, there's complete general apathy in the citizens of this country. We cannot live in a country where people no longer have faith in the country. So I believe Tinubu should go. The second reason why I believe that Tinubu should be voted out is insecurity. For crying out loud. This is a country where hundreds of people have lost their lives. From the last 3 years, thousands of people have lost their life. Yet, they're asking you to vote them again. Can you imagine that? I can tell you that if 2 students in America were abducted by terrorists, it would be a frontline news. It would be a breaking news. But in Nigeria, we are so populous that losing a few thousand lives doesn't matter. After all, we get plenty life. It no go better for now when I see the support. We no go better for now at all. It no go better for now. And the fact that the third reason is that Tinubu has very, very poor economic policy. They'll say, he has removed subsidy. The whole idea of removing subsidy is to use the money that was initially meant to be paying for those subsidies for other capital projects that directly benefit the common man. What is the benefit that Nigerians have gotten since the subsidy was removed? None. I tell you about a super highway or from Lagos to Calabar. I mean, when we have thousands of roads in Nigeria that are bad, journeys that are supposed to be 3 hours are now 6 hours. Only just to forest, it is less than 60 kilometers, but it will take you about one and a half hour. So even if you are driving at 120 kilometers, of course, the roads are not good for you to even drive at 120. The least you can do is 40, 50, 60, 70 roadblock, 40, 50, 60, 70 roadblock, 40, 60 checkpoint. So this is not a life we are living. And to think that there are people who will be supporting this government is quite unfortunate. Yeah? So the policies are so bad. Taxation, see, the purpose of tax, you don't use tax as a revenue generating instrument. Tax is not meant to generate revenue. Tax is a regulating concept. When you have too much money, you increase tax. When you have less money, you reduce tax. But it appears as clueless as the government is, they have nothing to do but to use tax as a means of revenue generation, which is very, very bad. Taxation operates where in a productive economy. Nigeria is not producing anything. Nigeria is not producing anything. Yet we are taxing almost everything. You tax internet content creator, you tax this, you tax almost everything. Very soon, even the air we are breathing, Tinubu will ask you to pay something for that air. The fourth, this thing is division, and this is by far the most appalling reasons of note why we should. This is the most cogent reason of note why we should take Tinubu out. This government has caused great, deep gully of this division among Nigeria. For the first time, Nigeria has ever been this divided along tribal and religious line until Tinubu came in. If you read the comments on this video, it will tell you more. That people no longer want to know whether the government is bad. So long as it's my tribesman, it's good to go. Or so long as he's promoting my religion, let it go. Even though you know very well that people are suffering. Very, very recent now, in some areas they are buying fuel for as high as 1,300 to 1,600. This is the fuel, and they're giving you an excuse that it is a fight in Iran. It is the Iran-US war that has caused a sharp rise in fuel price. That's a lie. That's a lie. It has nothing to do with that. We have our crude oil, we have our refinery. How will international market affect local gas price? Well, that is what the whole idea, this division along. Tinubu don't want to attack this rising spate of banditry and kidnapping and terrorism, because the sponsors are in your government, and probably they are the one who helped him to become the president. And therefore, knowing that if he goes all full throttle to fight corruption, insecurity, he might step on the toes of those who knows the secret of how he came into power. And therefore, for his presidency to reign, let people buy, let people be going, let people buy. How can we be losing this much of life every day and your president has not declared an emergency on insecurity? The fifth reason is corruption. Of course, we don't need to spend too much on that point. This is a party that said that once you come to APC, your sins are forgiven. So it doesn't matter what type of corruption you do, so long as, look at everyone that has been jailed, El Rufai, the most recent one, is because he's not a member. If El Rufai were to be a member of APC, I can tell you that APC government will look the other way for every crime he has committed. I'm not saying El Rufai is innocent of the charges they are brought in, but are you saying that everybody in APC are saints? Certainly no. Then the one that even annoys me the most is this idea of deception. There is no government of this government of APC has employed the greatest act of misdirection, otherwise known as deception, and you call it master strategist. This is not master strategy. This is criminality. This is deception in its highest order, trying to paint what is criminal as a way of life. Very soon, we are going to see corruption as a way of life. Our young men and boys are now seeing Yahoo, say the guy to do Yahoo. See that guy in the house, the guy in Yahoo. We're now seeing corruption as a way of life, as something to be cherished or admired. Women now identify themselves as prostitutes because they want to be admired. I mean, what type of government dresses motor touts as bishops to grace his policy of Muslim ticket? In fact, the whole idea of the Muslim ticket was a terrible risk because it only emboldened those people who believe that Nigeria should be an Islamic state. To declare a Muslim ticket is like saying it is halfway towards Islamization of Nigeria. I'm going to make a video on that later, but for now, I don't think anybody who wants Nigeria to succeed will be thinking about voting Tinubu again. So if you truly want Nigeria to be good, please, let me see your hands up if you are going to vote out. I'm not saying you must vote for this party or for that party, but certainly you are not going to vote for APC. Those who will not vote for APC, say aye. The ayes have it.